Good morning, everyone. I'm going to call to order the Land Use and Transportation Committee meeting for August the 5th. First is roll call, and we have two absent. We have Member Reeves and Member Duffy who are absent, but we otherwise have a quorum. First on our agenda is the consent agenda. 2A is the minutes from the Land Use and Transportation June 12, 2025 stand-up and the July 8th, 2025 regular meeting. And B is our payment of bills and transfers. So I have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion by Member Zebar, second by Member Loeffler. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. Then we'll move on to item 3, appearances by members of the public and county employees. We have no other signups. Okay, we have Ray Lai here from the McLean County Regional Planning Commission. You want to come forward? Sure.
Okay, great. Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Ray Lai. I'm the Executive Director for the McLean County Regional Planning Commission. At your last meeting, about a month ago, our MCRPC staff made a presentation on the strategic land use plan, which is a draft, still a draft at this point. And we have heard public comments and feedback from others. And so we have extended the public comment period. As you recall, it was originally July 23rd. So we have extended to September 1st. To allow more opportunities for public to provide comments, and so this is really an update for what we have done. So we have extended the deadline, but we also have expanded the public engagement. We were at the county fair just about a week or so ago. So we will passing out flyers, which I thank to Phil who passed out for us, and also. Yeah, it's on both sides. So you have extended, I can pass, that's just the schedule on backside. I can give some more about this, but I believe you all have received copies through emails, and thanks to the staff of the administration to help us to email this out a week or so ago. So we not just extended the public comment period for the draft plan, but we also have been invited to some special stakeholder groups meetings. We will continue to do that in this coming weeks. And so we have also scheduled, as you saw on the flyer, with 5 public meetings. The first one being this evening at the Heartland Community College. And then so all the 5 public open houses will be held this month. And so just different locations, in the county. So we hope people will be able to attend at the convenience or whatever location is suitable for them. And so we continued to welcome comments through our website, through people emailing us, stopping by the office, or make comments and provide feedback at those public meetings. So we appreciate your input and comment, and we welcome again your public comments. And that's what the project is supposed to be. It's not just staff, although this is a collaborative effort with the county staff, also staff from city and town that work together is a strategic land use plan. And this is kind of outgrowth of the regional comprehensive plan that we have actually been working on with a lot of background data, information, and analysis. So you'll see that later on, but this is more outgrowth just in response to the demand pressures in different parts of the county. So with that, happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Go ahead, Mr. Fagan.
Yeah, I see that there's only 2 meetings scheduled outside of Bloomington Normal, and they both are to the east. Will there be any more rural meetings scheduled to get a better feel for the feeling of the public?
Yeah, we did consider that. it's the largest county in the state, as you all know, and so we hope by having those 5 locations that people will be coming from different directions, still maybe 20-minute drive, for example, within 15-20 minutes drive. So we were at the Mayor Association, McLean County Mayor Association last week. So encourage them to attend. Also, get the word out to the residents and whatnot. So actually, we have some feedback from the mayors. They will be attending. So we hope that still suffice. We can only hold so many meetings just because of the capacity. And also location-wise, we look at, more somewhat centralized also. And that's why we have identified those 5 locations. It's not just because it's limited. I mean, we're not restricting people from even Bloomington normal area to go to the rural locations because they might be, they may work in, say, Leroy, that may be more convenient for them to attend.
Mr. Lai, didn't you also meet with leadership in Hayworth, in the southern part of the county?
Yeah, we had a meeting with officials from Hayworth, and so we met with the mayor actually last week. We spoke with the staff, from Hayworth, and so I think it's a good meeting, good discussion. Actually, I think at the end they understand what this project is about, and then they will be sending comments to us. So it's not a problem as it might perceive as, but just FYI. Yeah, thank you.
Anything further? Thank you, Mr. Lai, for these meetings and for coming to keep us updated.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we'll probably try to do that maybe every month, just to keep you apprised of this project. Yeah, and our anticipation date probably will be October after this first draft. After we've closed out on the public comment period, we'll take those comments we received by then into consideration and make the necessary revisions, and then we'll take that revised draft, to the public for their review and comment again before we finalize the document. So we'll keep you updated. Yep.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Just for the purposes of the record, Member Duffy joined at 8:32. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll move on to item 4, departmental matters. As 4A, 1A is a request approval of a resolution for the August 4th, 2025 project letting. And we have a final version on our desks. Can I get a motion to put this on the floor? Motion by Member Fagan, second by Member Abel. The floor is yours.
Thank you. So this is a little unorthodox on doing the letting the day before the transportation committee meeting. So just the way the timing worked out with the plans and trying to get this approved here in August so we can still get it built this year. But it's a sheet pile project on a township bridge in Yates Township, and it's similar to the one that Stark received last month in West Township. So Stark was a low bidder on this again. We actually did have a second bidder on this project as well. So it did come in at a fairly good price for us. So it should be able to get done yet this year.
Does anybody have any questions about this project? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, so passes unanimously. So we'll move on to 4A, 1B, request approval of road use agreements with 6GM for Hudson Township Solar 1, 2, and 3. Can I get a motion to put those on the floor? Motion by Member Abel, second by Member Zebarth.
So yes, this company's building 3 solar farms off the Lake Spur Road, and they're 5 megawatts, and so there's 2 5 megawatts going on the same parcel, and then a mile to the east is another 5 megawatt solar farm. And then they're also building one down around Bellflower, but that doesn't affect any county roads down around that way. So they want to get started yet this fall, and so this is just a kind of a road use agreement that covers for, using the road and working in the right of way. And if there's any damage or debris that's brought out on the right of way or on the road itself, that they're covered. And that, the Lakesboro Road was just done a couple years ago, so it's a 80,000-pound route, and so they don't really have a whole lot of heavy equipment coming in there. So I don't think that's going to be a problem accessing these spots.
Anyone have any questions for Member Stokes? I have a couple, just for clarification. So these projects, the 6GM, the Hudson Township Solar, they have already been approved through the Zoning Board of Appeals, or is this coming forward?
No, they've already been approved.
Right, so they're kind of going back and cleaning up, okay.
Yes.
And so I read all the contracts best I could. These are fairly standard contracts, right? There's nothing particularly out of the order with these.
Yeah, it just kind of covers us on some of the specifics. Like I said, there's no really road improvements at this point unless they do damage. I think the one difference between the Hudson Solar ones and the next one on the agenda is the pre-improvement survey. Since the Lakesboro Road was just done a couple of years ago, we felt that it was we know what it looks like. It's in very good shape, so we didn't need to do a pre-improvement survey and all that. But on the second group of agreements, they do have to do a pre-improvement to where they go out and take pictures and look at the roads and make sure, and that way we can note any distresses that are already there and make sure that we're when we don't have any issues when the project's completed.
Okay. Anyone have any other questions? Member Zebarth?
To your knowledge, there won't be any like road restrictions. They're just purely just use of the road, right? That's what what the agreement's for.
Yes, on this particular agreement for the solar, the solar threes, there's no restrictions on the road.
Maybe I'll rephrase that. They don't intend to interrupt or disrupt traffic or anything on the road while it's just for them to transport
Correct.
their equipment, okay?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Any further questions? Okay, all those in favor of, gosh, I'm sorry, I'm deep in the contracts now. 4A1B, the request approval of road use agreements for 6GM. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. So we'll move on to 4A1C, request approval of road use agreements with Empyrean Power Services LLC for McLean Solar 7 and Old Colonial Solar. May I get a motion to put that on the floor? Motion by Member Duffy, second by Member Abel.
So this is Pure Sky through Empyrean Power. And I think they have I want to say 8 different solar farms that have been approved already by the zoning board, I believe. And so they started one actually that's close to this, the Solar 7. And so, but we needed to get a road use agreement in place for these two. And so one of them's off Old Colonial, which is kind of right off the hot mix portion of Old Colonial that ties directly into Route 51. And then the other one is kind of from 150 it's on a oil and ship road that goes down to the on 1750. It's part on the county and then part on Bloomington Township as well. So they're wanting to get started this fall on some of this construction for these projects. And so like I said, like I mentioned earlier, the only really difference is the pre-improvement surveys for the roads.
Okay, so that would account for the difference. I mean, financially, there's I think there's an initial payment of like $100,000, whereas the other was $25,000. So is that what provides some of that? This is a much more expensive set of contracts than the last. Is that to do with the size, or is this has to do with this pre-improvement surveys?
I thought they were all 25,000.
That's why I'm digging around in here.
Because it's kind of hard to base it, but we did base it on how big the solar farm actually is. So we kind of looking at a 5 megawatt solar farm, and so we just kind of did 25,000. But the $100,000 is maybe that's what that's the letter of credit or the escrow.
Yeah.
So that'll be in place if there is some damage and they don't want to fix it. Then we have the opportunity to collect on the letter of credit or the escrow to take care of fixing the problem ourselves.
Okay.
And so yes, the oil and ship road would have more of
that.
there'd be more substantial work to upgrade that road versus.
Okay, so that's the difference. It was the letter of credit.
Yes.
Difference. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that sits in an escrow account. They will show evidence of that and then before they get started?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I know we've had questions over the years about how money is going to be held, so now it's,
Yeah, I think one company's doing letter credits, one's doing the escrow. They want to do bonds, but we don't really, we
don't
like
do
doing the escrows or letter credits better.
okay. Anyone else have any other questions? Okay, all those in favor of 4.1C, is that right? A1C, sorry, I had to get back up to, which is the approval of road use agreements with Imperium Power. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. So we'll move on to 4A1D, request approval of a letter of understanding with the Illinois Department of Transportation for Towanda Overpass, CH-29. I get a motion to get that on the floor. Motion by member Leffler, second by member Abel. Floor is yours.
So, so IDOT's gonna come in and, overlay the bridge deck there that goes over Interstate 55 there just north of Towanda. And so it desperately needs to be done. So this is definitely needed. They're actually doing similar work down at the Shirley overpass on County Highway 34. But the problem there, for whatever reason, I think because of the traffic count, they actually closed the whole bridge on both sides of the road, so you can't get through there at all. So the way they're doing the one in Towanda is they're actually going to have signals that are going to be on both sides to allow traffic to pass through there, since the traffic count's a lot higher. So that'll help keeping things moving. And so they'll work on one side and then finish that, and then move the traffic over to the other side. So they're planning on doing this in 2026, and so it'll tie in good because we're doing the road just north of there, and they redid the ramps there at the interchange. So this will all be done. And so in order to put the signals in there, they have to take out part of the median that we maintain to allow the traffic to be able to pass safely through there. So they'll take the median out and then put the median back once the project's complete.
Anyone have any questions about that? Okay, then we will vote on 4A1D, request approval of a letter of understanding with IDOT for the Towanda overpass. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Okay, with that passes unanimously. We'll move on to 4A1E, request approval of a resolution for the purchase of 2 dump bodies, hoists, and hydraulics from Monroe Equipment. I get a motion to put that on the floor. Motion by member Duffy, second by member Leffler. The floor is yours. That little brain, I couldn't see where the arm was coming from. Was it behind Fagan or not? Okay.
So these are, so we're looking to order some so when we order dump bodies, it takes about a year for them to get in place. And so what we were looking at doing, so we'll order our tandems after the budget's been approved in November, December, that time frame. And usually within the first 6 months of the year, we get our tandems and with just the cab and chassis. But a lot of times if we order the tandems or the orders, the beds and the hydraulics and everything at the same time, then it takes for them a year. So we have basically that truck sitting there not being able to do anything. And so this will, if we can purchase these 2 tandems, it'll be out of the 2025 budget. And then, and so then that way, if we can order them now, they'll be ready for June or July of 2026. And so they can go on the 26 tandems, and then we can kind of keep out ahead of this, trying to get the beds and everything in place so we can have because a lot of times, if we do get them like in December, it takes the company about a month to put them on, and then it takes us another month to get all our other stuff put on, our spreaders and hitches and everything for the plows and the wings. And so, so there's a chance where we might not be even able to use those tandem trucks for that particular winter. So this will allow us to hopefully get these done ahead of time. We can use them in the winter, and then we can use the other ones as spares throughout the winter as needed. So, so I think we're saving enough money on our capital projects that we'll have enough money to buy these here in the 2025 budget.
And for those who are newer on on the board, can you tell them a little bit about the bidding process? Yeah.
Sure. So, and so we talked, so this is through Monroe, who's done our bids who last a few years. And we talked to some other companies that do put the beds on, and they kind of tell us the same story, that they're still a year and a half out and that type of thing, because they just kind of slot them in as they go. And I think they're, when COVID was going on, they're still trying to make up for all that time and being delayed. So, so when we do this, we go through a process or through Sourcewell, and that's kind of basically a joint purchasing program that we do. And so with our larger equipment, with Caterpillar and or some of our Peterbilt trucks or Kenworth trucks, we can go directly through Sourcewell, and then that price is already set. And so then we can modify what we want. And so that's what we're doing here as well, is using a Sourcewell contract through Monroe to get these beds installed.
So in other words, we're not going out and getting 3 prices, that this is, we get what we get, right? That it's been,
We
it's
get
been
our
set.
preference, and then the price is set basically off the Sourcewell.
And they find it for us, in a sense, what's available. And
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone have any other questions about big Tonka trucks? Okay, so all those in favor of 4A, 1E, request approval of a resolution to purchase dump bodies, hoists, and hydraulics from Monroe Equipments, please say aye. Opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. Okay, Jerry, the next is 4A2, project summaries. Floor is yours for
Sure. So
picture time.
the first one, yes, is the Golden Bridge out on Lexington Leroy Road. So all we're waiting is on guardrail, which is supposed to be coming in this Thursday, and then they got to come in and groove the deck, and then spray the deck off, and then put a sealant over the deck. So I guess there was an issue with the manufacturer on getting the guardrail, so that's kind of held this thing up a little bit longer than it should have. But and then they need to come out and do some of the kind of spruce up the dirt work a little bit. But all the riprap's in place, the deck's been poured, the hot mix approaches have been completed. So turned out really good. So it'll be nice when we get it open. So that's the deadline's August 15th, so they need to get all this work done here in the next week and a half or so. Any questions on that one? So next up, we have PJ Keller Highway, and so I just got a few pictures of this. This project's fairly well complete, just doing some punch lists. Guardrails complete. They've the day I was out there, they were actually installing these reflectors, and so this is kind of looking back towards the Mackinac River area, looking to the west. Oh, shoot. And so, so there's a couple other pictures of the curve. You can see the safety shoulders. The one thing we are waiting on this is to come in and put the rumble strips along on the safety shoulders. That's supposed to be any time now. As soon as it's a subcontractor, so they need to get in there and do that. And really, I think that's just the major work item we got left on this project. And so there's just kind of another picture up by near Ron Smith Highway and that. So overall, yeah, real good project. This is our federal project for the year, and so I think it's coming in probably right on budget or a little bit below, I would say. So, any questions on that one? The next one is Stringtown Road. I don't have any pictures of that. So that one's kind of been. They got all the mainline paving done. We got it striped, reflectors, guardrail all in. We are waiting on the contractor to come back and finish the incidentals for their driveways and side roads and that. The same contractor went out and did the bridge out there in Lexington Leroy, but then he had some schools that hit up, and so we're trying to get him back there. And they're telling me here at the end of the week, so we can get that wrapped up, because the residents and stuff out there kind of they're having to go over bumps every time they go in and out of their house, and it's not necessarily a good thing. And it's just been delayed too long, so we need to, hopefully they'll get out there this week and get this done, but it'll take them probably a few days to do that. So, any questions on that one? So the next one is, so the Kruger Bridge. So this is just west of Hudson, and so this is the one that we're doing the latex overlay. And so they came in, and what they do is they come in with the hydroscarifier, which is what this does, And they basically take off about the top inch and a half of the concrete and scarify it all up. And then they vac, because this is kind of what it looks like when it's left. And then they come and vac all this up. And basically what we're doing is trying to get rid of the delaminated concrete on top. And the reason a lot of times what happens is the rebar is like too close to the surface. And so then the water gets in there and starts popping out. And so it was doing it quite a bit on this bridge. And so we decided to just do the whole thing with a latex overlay. And so this is the vac truck coming in to pick up the debris. And so then they get everything cleaned up. And so this is kind of what it looks like, as they're doing it. And once they do all this, we go ahead and sound it and see if there's any more delamination. Sometimes they have to come in and jackhammer more out that the scarifier couldn't get. We had some, you kind of can see here, we had some rebar that was loose, and we had to add some, so we did do that as part of this. And then, so you kind of get to see another picture of the rebar here and that type of thing. And then, so still clean it all up, and then, so then they wet it down and they cover it. And so this is what they call a bidwell machine that they were setting up here today, at this particular day, that basically spreads the concrete out when they get ready to pour. And so so the nice thing about this is everything is mixed on site. So they have the latex, the cement, the sand is all mixed in these trucks, and it's all computerized. And so they do about I think 5 yards per truck, and they mix it right there on site. And then so they did this. They poured this last Thursday, and they were supposed to start at 5:30 in the morning, and it just kind of got done raining, so they had to blow off the deck. And so they didn't get started until about 7, but they did end up getting it poured last Thursday. And so kind of see they had like 5 trucks lined up here earlier in the morning. And so here's where. So we made them, they're put in the special provisions in the contract that they had the buggy. So this is a buggy taking the concrete to the bidwell, and then you can kind of see, so they're pouring the concrete here and the bidwell machines spreading it out. There's kind of another picture of the truck. And so you can kind of see this guy's here, he's backing up all the water because you can't have any standing water on the deck. And then they're pouring it, so it's kind of like a gray. It comes out like the latex is gray, so it comes out the grayish looking, and then that over time it'll turn white. And then this is kind of picture of the truck that shows everything, with how they scale everything to do that. So they got it poured. I don't have a picture of the pour because it basically had to be covered up. We have to cure it dry for 2 days, and then cure it wet for 2 days. And then, so then they'll pull off the cover, and they're supposed to be coming in at the end of the week and do the hot mix approaches, and then they have to profile it and groove it, and then it's ready to go. So I would say, next week or two, this will be open back up as well. So nice project. So we put like 3 inches of overlay on it, so that helps get some distance between the rebar, and so hopefully we won't have any more delaminations of the concrete there. So. Any questions on that one? And then the last project, I don't have any pictures of that. They're actually just starting the Towanda Gridley Road that's going from Towanda to PJ Keller Highway. That they're starting to mill the existing surface off. And they're basically the contractor's just starting it today. Same contractor that did the PJ Keller Highway road construction's doing that work. So they just finished PJ Keller, and they're moving right into to this project. So they'll get it milled out and get it overlaid here. So they'll get moving on this one.
Does anybody have any questions for under the other category? Okay, well, thank you so much, Jerry. Appreciate it. We'll move on to 4B, building and zoning. I don't see any other items, but maybe permit summary or anything you want to say, Phil?
Yeah, just to let you know that we have 2 public hearings this evening, one for a wind farm by Bright Stock 2, which is operated by EDP Renewables. That's essentially east of Lexington. And then we have a solar farm in Dawson Township that will start at 8:30. We don't expect either of these cases to be finished tonight. They'll be probably have to continue because there'll probably be too many people wanting to speak to it to finish in one evening. But we're obliged to set it up at our next meeting, so the wind will go from 7 to 8:30, and then the other one will go from 8:30 to 10. We won't go past 10 p.m. tonight, but you're all invited to attend and hear what goes on at this public meeting. That's all I have.
Anyone have any questions for Phil? Okay, thank you so much, Phil. We'll move on to 5 other business, Cassie. C4C, Cassie Taylor Administration, do you have anything for us today?
Thank you, Chair Klein. I don't have anything for action, but I do have one thing I'd like to comment on, and that is today at 10 a.m. in the village of McLean, so very soon, the Illinois Transportation Secretary Gia Biaggi, McLean County Chair Johnston, the Village of McLean President Daniel Beal, as well as other officials will be participating in a media event announcing the start of the construction for the extension of the Route 66 trail down by McLean. So this project adds 4.5 miles of developed trail along Route 66 between McLean and the Funks Grove area. And the project has many benefits that I'd like to highlight. For safety purposes, this trail creates a safer tourism and bicycling pedestrian environment along the trail, designating segments of the highway for non-motorized use, and includes more bicycle-friendly local roads and off-road recreational trails. It connects our neighborhoods and our communities and creates alternate transportation routes, and it has positive economic impact. The trail's recreation and tourism features being along Route 66 do provide potential economic benefits for those communities in our southern part of McLean County. I would like to personally thank the Friends of the Trail, Patrick Dullard and Bill Wasson, for their continued support and assistance in pushing grants forward. They've put in many hours to assist the county with that. And then special thanks to Kathy Dreyer and Jerry Stokes and Luke O'Hulan with their work in the county to make this project possible. So that's what I have.
Sorry for almost skipping over you. I'm not doing so well this morning, I guess. Anybody have any questions for Administrator Taylor? Okay, thank you so much. I will go down. We have time after the meeting to go down to McLean. It's a pretty day out. So we'll move on to 5, other business and communication. Our next committee meeting will be on Tuesday, September the 2nd, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. And unless anyone has anything that they would like to say, I will adjourn our meeting. You all have a good day.